everybody. Welcome, welcome. We are getting everybody in here. Let's see. I think we're going live on Facebook, and I will just double check in just a minute. Hey, Trina. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Melissa. We're just a few minutes early, so we will see if we can get everybody. Let's see. Hang on just a minute in here at the right time. Okay, don't want that. Want that. Want that. All right. Sure, yeah. If you could be on video, that would be great, Melissa. Thanks so much. Yeah. So I really love one of the reasons why I really love doing things inside of my Zoom room is so that it can actually be a two-way interaction instead of you guys just kind of watching and listening. I can actually see you. I just think it creates a little bit more intimacy. It's more fun for me. It's more fun for you guys. I get to see you. I get to connect with you. So yeah, if you can, please come on. Yay, there's Melissa. Um, Fantastic. And Nicole, fantastic. Sharon, fantastic. Awesome, awesome. All right, so we are streaming. Oh, we're having a problem streaming in the group. Okay, that's all right. We will make sure that for those of you that are inside the Facebook group, no worries. We will make sure that these live streams are uploaded inside of the guide section. So we'll get these dialed in. So we've got our recording going here inside of Zoom. We're also streaming to our YouTube channel. Whoop whoop. So we will absolutely be able to have some replays available there for you guys too, so that you can connect with those. And if you are here live and you have not yet gotten your playbook, please go ahead and grab your playbook. It's at the link at the very, very top of our Facebook page. So you can go ahead and just do that, grab that. If you haven't registered, you're not here. So if you have registered, you're here because that's how you got the link. If you're watching this inside of the Facebook group on replay, definitely make sure if you're like, wait, I didn't know Chris was doing a thing. I get it. Like, we don't always see everything, right? No problem. Just go to the top of the page, register so that we can make sure that we get you your playbook and we can get you access to the Zoom link, and we can also get you access to your playbook and any of the recordings. Yeah, it's recording. Mm-hmm. It should be recording. Oh, I'm going to start it again.
Recording in progress.
Thank you, Trina. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank God we got that right from the very beginning, right? Okay, so let's dive in. I'm so super excited. I'm going to give people just one more minute to kind of figure out. I know if anybody is like me, I'm always like searching my email at the last minute trying to figure out the link. Melissa was here early, so that's not her. It's me. I'm like, "Oh my God, where's the link?" So just so that you guys know, a few housekeeping things. We will make sure that we send the link out to you in the morning. We'll also send a link out to you 1 hour before we go live, just in case you're like me and you're like, oh my God, where's that darn link? We will also have the replays, hi Renee, inside of two places. So if you're not a Facebook person, you don't like being on Facebook, I hear you, no worries. We've got a web page set up for you guys so that you can just go right to the website and click on that. And every single day we'll upload the recording there. We also have your playbook there too, so you can go there. If you are inside the Facebook group, then you can go right to the Facebook group and go to the guides section. You'll want to do that from your desktop because it won't show up on your phone. I don't know why, have no idea. But you want to click on the guides, and then we will have all of the replays there by day, so it's all in one place. I want to make sure that you have an easy way to find things so that if you want to watch it on repeat, or if you're like, wait, what was that thing that she said? I want to hear that again. You've got access to it. We will be keeping replays up till about September 2nd. So there's going to be plenty of time. If you can't make any of the live recordings, you will have plenty of time to access any of the replays. But please try to be here live for a couple reasons. Number one is every day that you're here live, you will be added into a drawing to have a private one-on-one VIP day with me. So it's going to be you and me in Zoom. We're going to uncover what's going on in your business, what are the gaps, what is it that you need to take care of. And normally a VIP day with me runs to at $5,000. So you and me you can win an entire VIP day training with me where we can really get your business planned out, figured out, whether it's ideal client, whether it's pricing, whether it's programs, whether it's how do I attract people, whether it's creating your freebie. I've got you. So we're going to do that. So every time you show up live, we've got a spreadsheet. We're like live, live, live. Everybody goes inside. You get a drawing for each one of those. Okay, so definitely do that. Number two is I absolutely are going to coach you on here. So this isn't just going to be like let me just watch and get this high level theory, but not really get support. That is not me. My trainings are designed, I want you to walk away from the training, whether it's every single day or at the end, to say, holy crap, that was amazing, and I would have paid for that. Okay, so that means that I'm going to open up questions. That means that you can ask me your questions. I'm not just going to be like, this is the what you do. I'm actually going to help you and support you with this. So I love teaching live. It's one of my favorite things to do. I love sharing value, regardless of whether you decide that you want to work with me later or not. No worries. You're here, and that is so amazing. I want you to consume. You do not need to be obligated to buy. So for those of you that have your playbook already, it's full transparency. It's why we put it in the playbook. You will see that we will make an offer later on in the week as that we're going to be opening up enrollment into Activate Abundance Academy. We're not doing that today. You guys don't need to make any decisions about any of it. But the reason why we do this live is so that you can actually see what it's like to work with me, what it's like to be inside of a Zoom room with me, what it is that I'm actually teaching, so that you can decide, do I resonate with that? Do I not resonate with it? Like, do I even want to learn this? And this is so, so important, you guys, because the things that we see that are happening in the market right now, I've actually been doing, I'm ahead of the game, thank God, but I've actually been doing the nurture and the generosity piece for many, many years. And it's really funny because now we're seeing all of these big coaches coming out and saying, oh, guess what? You actually need to nurture people before you actually invite them to buy. And I'm like, no kidding. Like, that's what I've been doing, and that's what I've been teaching since 2015. So, a couple things. What you're learning from me today and what you're witnessing today is actually one of the things that I love to teach inside of any of my programs, which is we get to serve, we get to lead with our heart, we get to lead with generosity, we get to share incredible value. So the only intention here is for you guys to walk away with value. Deal? Awesome. You guys ready to go? Margaret, I'm so glad to see you here. Renee, Jen, Anne Marie, Christine, Trina, Nicole, and Melissa, and Morgan. So glad you're here. All right, I'm going to share my screen because I really love teaching off workbooks. A couple reasons. Number one, it makes it a lot easier for me to stay on track. Number two, if you don't have your workbook, you can take a look and you can follow along. All right, so here we are. We are inside of the Prosperous Holistic Business Simplified. You guys, over the course of the next 5 days, are going to learn 6 steps for how you can create consistent clients and predictable income in your heart-centered holistic business. Okay? And I promise you, you will walk away with not only the what, but also the why and the how. I'm not going to go through the schedule. You guys can do that, but today is day 1. And I want you to take a look at where you feel that you are on the pathway to a prosperous business. Everybody is welcome, no matter what stage you're at. You are here if you are a coach, if you're a life coach, a health coach, a nutritional therapist, if you are an energy worker, if you have a service-based holistic business. This is going to help you in multiple ways. We're not just going to talk about social media, by the way, when we get to attracting ideal clients. We're also going to talk about how we do this off social media, which is great because I know a lot of people are like, do I have to be on social media? We're going to talk about that. But if you are just starting out, you've got the certifications, you've got the passion, but you have little or no clients at all, and you're really not sure how to do this business thing, I get you. You're probably feeling like getting a client just feels like dumb luck. And you're at the 0 to 25K range. I want you to go ahead and pop in the chat here, invisible. Okay? What this is going to do, it's going to allow me to customize this training for where it is that you are. Okay? Number two, if you feel like you're getting some visibility, you've made between 25K and 80K in a year, you've worked with a handful of clients. Maybe you also have like a different piece of your business, right? So many of us as holistic practitioners have multiple certifications, right? So many of my clients might have certification as a therapist, certification in other ways, but they don't have a six-figure business quite yet, but they've got multiple modalities. Or maybe they do have a six-figure business in one place and they're transitioning into coaching, or they want to add another layer. So emerging, if this is you, you're getting some visibility, handful of clients, you're probably still undercharging for your services. And so what we're going to dive into here, what's going to be most important for you guys to think about is today all around aligning our mindset, and when we get to increasing and creating our pricing and our programs, which is tomorrow. Okay, we need to make sure that it's priced appropriately so that we can actually hit that six-figure mark. So if that's you, go ahead and type emerging. By the way, welcome James, and welcome to everybody who's just joining us. Number three, you might be in the place where you're magnetizing. You're making 80K to 100K, so you've busted through that 100K mark, but it's not consistent. Okay, some months are amazing, some months are like it's not predictable. Sometimes it might feel like feast or famine. You're like, I thought this was going to be easier. I thought once I had 100K it was going to be so much better. Okay, if this is you, then what we're going to do is make sure that you are predictable, and doing the right things over and over and over to consistently attract those clients into your ecosystem. Okay, and that you also have a sales system dialed in. All right, so if that's you, you're magnetizing. And then finally, if you feel that you're at mastery, if you're like, okay, I've bumped through the 100K mark, I'm probably somewhere between 100K or 150K and 500K. You're ready to scale, right? Here's the important piece. You're not done yet. It's time to make sure that your system is put on repeat. We actually go back to the basics. We go back to ideal client avatar, we up level your avatar, we up level your offer suite, and we make sure that you are omnipresent and visible in multiple platforms. Okay, so the training that I'm going to give you over the course of the next 5 days is going to serve all of you. Okay, I've been at every single one of these places and beyond, and so I can tell you that what I'm teaching you is going to help you create six figures, multiple six figures, even take you into the seven-figure realm. Okay, how's that sound? If that sounds good, go ahead and type in yes inside of the chat for me. I would love to make sure that we are all on the same page and that feels good to you. Awesome. Let me get into the chat. Yes, 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 yes. Sounds awesome. Yay. Awesome. Thank you, Renee. Fantastic. All right, then we are going to dive into day one. And day one, and what we're going to be focusing on is core pillars. So first, I really want you to understand that there are going to be some foundational principles with which we build your holistic business from a very aligned and a very heart-centered way. Okay, so these 5 core pillars are what I built my business on over and over and over again. So I'm going to share with you exactly what those are. Oh my gosh, my friend Carol is here. Fantastic. I love this. Carol, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for being here. So 5 core pillars that are going to make up your holistic business. These are going to be the foundations. Number 1, which we're going to dive into deep today, is an abundant mindset. 80% of your success, seeing the world and your business is working for you, trusting in yourself, having confidence in yourself, claiming that you already have what it is that you desire, is really, really important. So an abundant mindset is going to be key, and we're going to be diving into that so that you can really claim your power today, claim that you are already either a 6-figure coach or holistic practitioner or a 7-figure, whatever it is that you decide. We get to claim it now. We do not wait, and I want you to hear me say this, we do not wait until we have achieved it before we say, oh, now I am. That's backwards. We have to claim that we are already. And I'm going to share with you today some specific little tips that I used that helped me step into that alignment, the abundance mindset every single day until I was making those 10K months consistently, and then 20K months, and then 50K months, and onward. The second pillar that we're going to dive into is that is going to be our foundation is serve first. We always get to serve first. So for those of you that are feeling salesy, that are feeling icky, that feel like, I don't know how to actually invite people to work with me. It feels like I'm just trying to drag somebody off the finish line, or I feel like I've got to like overcome objections. Nope, I'm a hell no for that. We get to serve first. Serving people with value first that is also congruent to the solution that they want is actually our number one come from. Okay, that's why I said when you first popped in here that all are welcome. If you do nothing more but consume the information, and I am going to ask you to implement too, because nothing changes if you don't implement. But you're welcome here. You're welcome here as many times as you want to be inside of my Zoom room, whether you decide that you want to work with me today or next week or years from now, that's totally fine. But my intention is to serve you, and that's what you guys get to do too. Number three, the foundation is the repeatable system. Simple, I'm going to underscore simple, repeatable system. Ladies, complication kills. When we get too complex in a system in trying to build our business, it kills our business, it kills our motivation, it kills our desire. And so the Soulful Abundance system is actually keeping it simple. When we have a simple strategy that we know that we can put on repeat, the way that we share our message, the way that we serve our clients, the way that we build our audience, the way that we enroll paying clients, we get to put that on repeat. That means that you get to hone and master a process. And that makes it simple. It makes it easy. It keeps us from chasing bright, shiny objects. It makes sure that we are focused. So I'm super excited to share that with you. Number four, the nurture method. My favorite. How are we marketing and selling in a way that feels aligned and that we're actually nurturing relationships, not just making transactions? Anybody feel like frustrated that they feel like they've got to chase clients, or they feel like sales is just about making a transaction? If that's you, I want you to just pop in, sales in the bottom. Yeah. Here's the good news. You do not need to chase clients. You do not need to DM 100 people a day. You do not need to overcome somebody's objections or drag anybody across the finish line in order to have a six-figure or multiple six-figure business. I was actually told that I was supposed to do these 1-hour discovery sessions and just book calls with people and try to like sell them into my 90-day program. And guess what? That doesn't work. I was taught that back in 2015. And let me tell you, when they taught me that in 2015, that was an outdated model already. It's never been updated. Okay. So I'm here to tell you that didn't feel aligned with me because I felt like it was a bait and switch, right? Well, let me just give you a free coaching call. And then what's really going on is I'm trying to convince you or persuade you to join me, right? That doesn't feel aligned for many heart-centered entrepreneurs, especially those of us that have a passion to serve and make the world a better place, right? If you're with me and you want to make the world a better place without trying to convince or persuade somebody that they have a problem that you can serve, go ahead and type yes in the chat, because if that's you, you're absolutely in the right place. That was the same for me, and I was like, I'm a hell no for that. So I'm going to be teaching you, especially on day 3 and 4, the nurture method. Okay, so if this is like, I really want to learn this, make sure you guys come back for day 3 and 4, because the nurture method is all about that. And then the last pillar is that we have to take inspired action, right? We get to be empowered leaders and take inspired action, because if we don't take inspired action, nothing changes, right? So we're going to talk about the what's the word I'm looking for? Not the solution, the formula. Oh my gosh, the formula, the abundance formula. We first start with mindset, right? And we get our energy aligned, and we're going to talk about that today. Then we implement the strategy, and that equals abundance. Okay, but notice that mindset comes first, so that when we take action, it's inspired action. It's not hustle action. It's not, oh my God, I got to get a client because I got to pay the bills. It's not scarcity, right? We're not going there. We don't need, as a matter of fact, it's really darn hard to create from there. And I really want you guys to have a predictable, consistent income. And it's not predictable and it's not consistent when you're in hustle energy, okay? So, step one is let's align to the 6 figure or 7 figure CEO that you already are. Okay? Remember who you are. Remember who you are. You are here for a reason. You went and got your certifications for a reason. Why are you doing what it is that you're doing? We have to remember that. It's not just about making money. Do we want to make money? Yes, we have to make money. We have to put food on the table. We have to take care of our kids. We have to take care of our families, right? We have to pay the bills, the mortgage, the car payment, whatever. But that's not why you got into this. And that's not why I got into it either. Okay? Money becomes a side effect when we remember who we are and why we're doing what it is that we're doing. So I want you to just take a minute on your sheet and write that down. Who are you? You're an empowered 6 figure, 7 figure coach, practitioner, energy worker, whatever it is. And why did you get into this work in the first place? Why did you get in this work in the first place? Why is it still on your heart for you to do this work and also build a prosperous business? Okay? They're actually two different things, right? Money is a side effect, right? We get to be well paid while we're actually making the world a different place. But before we do that, we have to remember why we're here. Why are we doing what it is that we're doing? When I was first building my health coaching practice, by the way, for those of you that don't know me, I should have introduced myself in the beginning and I didn't. I'm Chris Williams. I am the founder of Shine Wellness LLC, as well as Activate Abundance Academy. And I built a 6 figure, multiple 6 figure, 7 figure business in 3 years with what it is that I'm teaching you today. Okay? I know what it's like to build and grow a holistic business because I have over 30 years of experience in the wellness industry. I massage therapy, yoga teaching, meditation, health coach, life coach, certified business coach, all of those things I have underneath my belt, okay? I know what it's like to start from scratch too. I went through a divorce after 17 years, had to start over with $25 in my pocket. And if I can do it, you guys can do it too. My intention here is that you guys can see that it doesn't have to be complicated. It gets to be simple. And I want you to walk away knowing what those steps are so that you can have a prosperous business too. But when I started as a health coach, I was passionate about my nutritional therapy and my health coaching business because I had 3 children, I had little ones, and I saw their friends and I saw their surroundings with people that were eating terrible. And I remember I went into my son's school, and they were actually studying. I think it was when he was like in 2nd grade. They were actually studying nutrition, and I asked the teacher. I said, "Can I come in and do a little presentation?" And she's like, "Sure." Y'all, they thought that cheese puffs were like real food, right? Like they had no idea what an avocado was. They had no idea what an artichoke was. I remember buying an artichoke at the local grocery store, and the cashier actually asked me what that was. In my hometown, didn't know what it was, okay? I had a little girl ask me and she said, "So is caffeine bad for you?" And I'm like, "Well, it's probably not something that kids really want to drink." And she said, "Oh, good, because I drink caffeine-free Coke." And I'm like, okay. So I am passionate. I was passionate when I was building and growing my business because I knew that the next generation needed support. I knew that my kids were modeling what it is that I was doing. Okay, so we grew an organic farm. We had a CSA. We made our food. My kids helped me in the kitchen baking bread, and so it was really, really important to me. That was a passion thing for me. So why are you doing what it is that you're doing? Okay, that's my story. You get to tap back into your story. Number 2, who does your work serve? This is important to remember. If we're not clear about who we're serving, then we're kind of like all over the place. We need to know specifically who does our work serve. Okay, we're going to get into ideal client a little bit later, but we really do have to understand specifically who is the person that can most benefit from my services. So ask yourself, who is the person? And I really want you to think about one person. Who is the main person that could benefit the most from your services? And I want you to write that down. And here's a hint. Chances are that person and your ideal client is a previous version of who you were. Okay? I grew up eating Captain Crunch cereal and hiding Doritos from my brother. No lie. Okay? So the fact that I wanted to help other families learn how to eat better meant that previous version of who I was as a kid was we were legitimately eating like bologna sandwiches and mayonnaise sandwiches and did not have a whole lot of money. And I wanted to make sure that no matter where people were, that they were getting the education that they needed to eat well. So who does your work serve? How does your work serve them? So what do I mean by that? What do I mean is, what are the results that they get to have by having you support them? When somebody is working with you, even if you haven't worked with any clients yet, that's okay. I want you to think, what is something, how is it going to serve them? What is the result that they get to walk away? Do they get to stop dieting? Do they get to have a more empowered version of themselves? Do they get to get out of toxic relationships? Do they get to make more money? Do they get to step more into their life purpose? Whatever that is, how does your work serve them? And the more specific you can be with this, the more tapped in and dialed in you're going to be with your own purpose. Okay? Next, what happens if they don't find your work? What happens if they don't find your work? What does it look like for them on Pain Island? If they don't find your work, how are they going to continue to struggle? And not only that, but how does that affect the people around them and their own lives? This is really important. And as a matter of fact, this is something that you guys are going to come back to over and over and over again. And here's why. A lot of times we get nervous and scared about actually inviting people to work with us, right? We're like, but what if they think I'm salesy? What if they think I'm just out for myself? What if they say no? Here's the thing. When we are afraid to actually share what it is that we do and put our message out there, we are abandoning the people that need your work on Pain Island. So what happens if they don't find their work, your work? What happens? Really, really important. And again, when we take it even further to say, and what are the ripple effects that happen to their families if they don't? And then what happens if they do? Right? What happens if they do find your work? What happens if they start working with you and they walk away and they feel better, they have a happier, healthier life? How does that affect them, their relationships, their children, their families, their communities? Ladies, there are ripple effects that are happening by you serving the clients that are looking for you. And I can guarantee you right now that there are clients that are looking for you right now. They just haven't found you. Okay? How do I know that's true? Because you wouldn't have it on your heart to do the work that you're here to do if there were not people already looking for you. Okay? I'm going to teach you on day 2 and day 3 how you actually get those people who are looking for you but haven't found you yet to raise their hand so that we know where they are. Okay? But it's really, really important that you come from people are looking for you. They're looking for you, and this work is important because if they don't find you, there are ripple effects that happen in the world that nobody gets well if they don't find you. Okay? So how does finding them, how does finding you, right? How does them finding your work affect their family, affect their community, and really affect the whole world, right? And I can give you a good example based on my 30 years in the wellness industry, specifically with my kids. My son, who when he was in college, he came home and he said, Mom, I cannot even believe that people don't know how to cook. Like my roommates don't even know how to cook. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting, really? They don't even know how to use a can opener. I'm like, really? I'm like, well, they could YouTube not how to use a can opener. He said, Mom, it's really crazy. And so him him watching, being in the kitchen with me, just picking up what it is that we were doing when we said, you know what? Spinach goes in our smoothies. We don't use a juice as a base for a smoothie, right? We want greens in there, and we want some healthy fats. We want to make sure that there's a difference between a sugar bomb and a nutritious smoothie, right? He knows how to do that. He was teaching his roommates. My middle son, same thing, teaching his roommates, teaching his girlfriend, right? My younger son now, who is actually in a freshman in college, he wants to go into nutrition. He wants to go into nutrition. So, him just being in my world, he's going to impact multiple people. Holy cow, right? As a matter of fact, when we went up to school, he's going to Appalachian State University. He said, I want pots, I want pans, a cutting board, knives. I want to make sure that I've got the things that I need so I don't have to eat in the cafeteria all the time. I'm like, amazing, you got it. So if this is resonating with you, I absolutely want you to type in yes here. There's a reason why you're here. So we get to align to that first. Okay? That's important. We have to start here first. We don't start from the money. Why? Because there is a larger reason beyond the money for us, right? So now we get to, once we're dialed in, where we're like, heck yes, I am here for a reason. I'm here for a purpose. It's important that people find me, because if they don't, this is how they're going to suffer. And if they do, this is the ripple effect that my work is going to make in the world. That has to be our come from. That's the why underneath the why, right? That's the why we want to build a prosperous holistic business. Now we get to decide how much money we want to earn from our work. How much do you want to make? And look, for those of you that feel like six figures is a pipe dream, I get it. I was there too. When I graduated as a health coach, I thought, you know what? That's BS. People don't make six figures as a health coach. I don't believe it until I did. Until I did. Okay? So I don't want you to think that there's like this one specific thing that you have to pick 5K or you have to hit 10K. You get to decide. Okay? So you get to decide, if you were thinking about a monthly basis, how much money are you deciding, and it is a decision, how much money are you deciding to earn from your work? On a monthly basis, if you had consistent money coming in, how much are you deciding? I want you to go ahead and pop that in the chat. Is it 2K a month? Is it 5K a month? Is it 10K a month? Is it 50K a month? Is it 100K a month? Honestly, it doesn't matter. The key here is that you are deciding that that is the amount that you're willing to receive. Okay, I'm just going to take 10K. Amazing, Alyssa. Nicole, 5K. Melissa, 6K. Fantastic. Anne-Marie, 10K. Renee, 11K. 10K. Amazing. Great. Carol, thank you so much for the yes. Christine Arnold, 5K. Fantastic. Now, I want you to think about already having that amount of money. You see it in your bank account. It's waiting for you right there. What are you going to do with it? Money wants to be told where to go. It's not enough to just say, oh, I'm going to have consistent 10K months. Money wants to know where it goes, right? We have to have an emotional connection to why it is that we actually want that money. So if you want consistent 5K months, what are you going to do with that money? Why is that important, right? If you want consistent 10K months, where is that money going to go? I knew that I wanted a prosperous business because I had 3 boys. I was a single mom. I needed to take care of ourselves. I had to figure out how to put 3 boys through college, right? And I didn't want to take out loans, and I didn't want them to have to take out loans either. I needed to pay off my credit card bills. I was 20K in debt when I started my business. Okay. I wanted to invest in coaching. I wanted to make sure that I had somebody who had their eyes and their ears and their heart on my business with me. And I wanted to work with somebody that I resonated with, that I could learn their method. Okay. I wanted to buy a house. And you know, the really cool thing about all of that is I've accomplished all of it. I've paid off all my bills. I have no debt. I am debt free except for my mortgage. I paid off my car payment. I've put 2 kids fully through college by writing a check without having to take out loans, and they don't have loans either. So they're free. They're debt free too until they start racking up credit card debt, and hopefully they won't because mom is talking to them, right? So we have to decide where that money goes, because as you guys know, if you've been in the world of holistic practitioners and the law of attraction, we know that energy flows where intention goes. So we have to have an intention about what we're going to do with that money. Okay? Now, when you're excited about thinking about where that money's going, how do you feel? I want you to pop that in the chat. How do you feel when you see yourself having that money and seeing what it can do? Excited, yes. Energized, happy, yeah. Good. And I want you to close your eyes for just a moment. And I want you to see that you've got this money right now. You've been able to use it the way that you want to. You feel excited. You feel happy. What else do you see? What else do you feel? What else do you notice about you and about your world? I guarantee that if you are bringing in 10K, 5K, 15K months, you are showing up in the world differently than you are right now. Guarantee it. How do I know that? Because if you were showing up as the person who already is making consistent income, you would be making it. Okay? It's true. So I want you to think about, what are you doing? How are you acting? Who is with you? What are you talking like? What are the thoughts that you're telling yourselves? Okay? Laura says, less stress, more happy. Yeah. Motivated. For me, from day one, I knew that building and growing my business, what I wanted at the other end was to feel a sense of relaxed confidence. I didn't want to stress out about money. I didn't want to hustle for money or clients either. That what I wanted to create and what I saw happening was that I had a sense of relaxed confidence. So you can also come back to asking yourself, how does earning this money serve your goals, your purpose, and your mission? When you earn money, and let me say, I want every single one of you to be financially abundant. Why? Because the more money gets into the hands of women who are here to do good work, the better. That means that you contribute to your families. It means you contribute to your communities. And that is actually, I'm kind of giving you the answer already of how is earning money a high service. When you are earning money in your business, you get to contribute to the greater good, including yours and your family. All right? Can I get an amen on that? Right? We tend to think that we either make money and we're spiritual and we're good people, or we have to give our services away and we're not able to be spiritual, right? Not true. I want you to see that earning money is actually a high service. Why? Because if you're struggling to put food on the table, you can't show up powerfully for clients. If you're struggling and you're stressed out and you're hustling, you can't be present for your family or your community. Right? Yes. So earning money for your business means, number one, you have a real business and not just an expensive hobby. Number two, when you're earning money, it means you're actually working with clients, right? And if you're actually working with clients, you're changing the world. You are making sure that you are there and you're supporting people. They're getting results by working with you. Okay? So can you hear what I'm putting down here? That it's not all about the money. Money becomes a side effect when we allow ourselves to not only receive it, but also to know that we get to share it. And we get to share it with ourselves, and we get to share it with our family, and we get to share it with our community. It gets to be a both and. Okay? I'm going to stop the share just for a minute because I really want to hear, how is this landing for you guys? How is this landing for you? Oh, I don't know why my hand's raised. That's so funny. How's this landing for you? Somebody come up, truth bombs, Renee. Absolutely. Hopefully, this feels like I get to talk truth over you. So, thank you for saying that, Renee. What else is popping up for you guys? Reassuring. Yes. Anybody else feel a sense of relief that it's actually possible? Yes. And it gets to be possible in a way that aligns for you. Comforting. Yes. Absolutely. Nicole.
Sorry, I want to unmute myself. One of the things that I love this is so helpful to me because my background prior from most of my life was as an artist, an actor in the performing arts, whereas you're so happy to get a job and so I've spent so much of my life being so grateful for every job I got and feeling like, oh, I'd do this if it were, regardless, if and it was paying. And that's actually the worst mindset to have.
It is.
When you're trying to create a business.
It is.
Because it's counteractive. It's counterintuitive. And so just being able to, the perspective that you just gave of, how wonderful, like someone like me who's generous and kind and would use my money to support other artists, to support other writers, to support other healers. Like how wonderful if I were one of those people that had the money and I could contribute it to things that mattered to me. So it's just a great shift in my mind.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, thank you for saying that, Nicole. And in 2020, I was actually able to give away $20,000 in cash and services. And I would not have, to other women who are building or growing their business, I would not have been able to do that if I said, oh, let me just do it for free. Let me just do it for free. Now, here's the interesting thing, though, you guys. There are ways that we can give things away for free, right? There are, but we have to allow ourselves to receive so that we can create those things to give away for free, right? Here's something else, and this hopefully is another truth bomb. There's a difference between being a philanthropist and a business owner. Okay, so if you are a prosperous business owner, you can also go into philanthropy. What? Right? Yes. So that's the beautiful thing. We get to do that. We get to do that. We get to receive and we get to share. And I still share. And I, will create scholarships and I will talk to people based on where it is that they are because I'm the CEO of my business and I get to decide and I know that I'm generous and I get to do that. And so the more of you that make an amazing living are going to be able to share that with the world as well. Anybody else want to share how this is landing for you, how this perspective shift might allow you to step into the power that you guys already have as a healer, as a leader, as a coach? Would love to hear. No? All right. Then we're going to go on. We're going to, Christine, yes, thank you.
Sorry, it's brief. I was just thinking about how this really just helps you. I mean, here we are trying to do all these things that give back. The money that comes around is just part of the circle, right?
Yes.
So it comes back because we're doing that. So it's kind of like, how dare you not kind of like shine your light in the world, and do the good thing that you can do, that is sort of your gift. And then the money is what comes back to you, as well as, other, acknowledgement, community, the other things that come to you too.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Oh my gosh,
so
thank you for,
really
yes.
resonates.
I'm so glad. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, absolutely. Here's the interesting thing. Whenever we start to shrink, chances are it's because we're making it about us. What are they thinking about me, right? If I ask somebody to join me here or work with me or whatever, what are they thinking about me? What if they think I'm greedy? What if they say no? All of that is about you, has nothing to do with them. But when we stand in our power and just authentically claim that we are here to serve people, and we're also going to get to receive, what that allows us to do is make it about the people that we're here to serve. Right? Because if you don't do the work and you don't receive, you can't help more people. Right? You can't. It's impossible. If you're struggling to put food on the table, you can't help more people. Okay? And it's impossible. Right? So we get to claim first, and we get to make it about them. So that's why I said you guys are going to be coming back to your why over and over and over again. And because you'll get contracted again, and you'll feel like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. Yes, you can. Make it about them. Every time you feel like you can't, you're making it about you. Make it about them. Who doesn't get to get off of Pain Island if they don't find you? Who stays struggling if they don't find your help? Who stays struggling if they don't have your support? Right? Yes. And here's the truth, you guys. When you are actually serving somebody, when somebody invests to work with you, they're investing in themselves. They're investing in their own transformation. And that is actually giving somebody a gift to love themselves enough to feel that they're more important, to actually invest in themselves. Okay? And that is a beautiful thing, to be able to not judge what is in somebody else's pockets, but to give them the opportunity to decide for themselves that they're ready to invest. Because here's the other thing. If they don't have support, chances are they're going to stay where they are. Those of you that went through health coaching school know that we don't create change unless we have three main things. We have to have support, we have to have accountability, we have to have a system. Why? Because if we could have done it by reading books, we would have, right? If we could have done it just by having knowledge, we would have, right? I know what it takes to have six-pack abs. I don't have six-pack abs. I know what it takes, though. That's knowledge, right? I gotta actually do the darn thing, right? I gotta get out of my way, right? Having your support and accountability and system is what is going to help them get the results. And they have to invest in that, because if they don't invest in themselves, they're not going to show up. They're not going to show up. They don't take it seriously. There's no skin in the game. Okay? So I hope this is another amazing truth or another truth bomb here. Okay, let me share my screen again. All right, so here it is, the abundance formula. I shared this earlier, but the inner game, the mindset, right? That's why today is all about mindset. Who are we being? Who are we here to serve? Are we making it about us? Or are we making it about them? Plus the outer game, which is the strategy. And I guarantee that you guys, I'm going to be sharing the strategy with you. I promise. I will absolutely give you the actions to take. I will give you the how. I promise. Okay? But we can't implement those if we're still in lack, right? Think about it. If you're still in scarcity and lack and thinking, I can't do this, I don't deserve this, who am I to do this work? The strategy is not going to work. It doesn't matter what the strategy is, right? We have to first believe in ourselves and say, I am here for a reason, and I am here to do this work for a reason, and there are people that need me. Then we get to implement the strategy. So guess what, you guys? The remaining 4 days of the training is going to be all strategy related, okay? But we have to start here first. So abundance is more than just wealth. It's a combination of money, freedom, and joy in both our business and life. Both our business and life. The framework that I'm teaching you, the Soulful Abundance System, and today was step 1, alignment, is designed to create prosperity in your holistic business. It's designed to create prosperity in your holistic business, but also it's prosperity that feels aligned. You do not have to trade your well-being or your integrity for your success. Can I get an amen? Right? We do not have to trade our integrity as heart-centered leaders, coaches, healers to create success. I know there's a lot of sharks out there, and I know that there's a lot of methods out there that don't align, and I'm here to say you don't need to do them to create success. How do I know? Because I didn't do them, and I created success, and I reverse engineered what it was that I'm doing so that I could teach it to you. Number 2, it's designed to create relationships rather than transactions. Relationships rather than transactions. We are here to serve people. When we are creating relationships with people and we see them as human beings who are looking to us for support, not just a transaction, that changes the way that we show up and the way that we serve in the world. So what I'm going to teach you with the strategy is going to help you do that. Number 3, it's going to give you a simple and repeatable strategy to grow your practice to 6 figures. Simple is important. As a matter of fact, I come back to the same strategy over and over and over and over again. I do the exact same thing that I'm teaching you guys over and over and over and over and over again. And that's important because if it's not simple, you are going to overthink it, and you are going to move in multiple directions, and you're going to chase bright, shiny objects, and that complication is not going to allow you to make it sustainable, right? And if it's not repeatable, that means you're starting at square one all the time. When it's repeatable, it means you get to hone and master the process, right? Just like lifting weights, you hone and master a process, okay? It's designed to help you create know, like, and trust of you. Number 4, because let me tell you, strangers are not buyers. If somebody doesn't feel safe with you, if they don't like you, if they don't trust you, they are not going to invest to work with you. Okay? So it's not just how do I make sales? It's not just how do I create visibility? It's how are you creating that know, like, trust with people before you ask them to buy, please. Right? Before we ask them to buy, right? We should never, ever, ever be asking somebody. The first thing that we ask somebody should never be, do you want to buy my thing? There has to be the in-between piece of nurturing that happens here. Okay? Number 5, it is going to build value and results for your audience. We want to build value. We want to build results for our people who are in our community, okay? And so I'm also going to share with you why it's important that we actually have a community. It's not just building an audience. We're actually building a community of people where people get to feel a sense of belonging, where people get to feel more than just themselves and have a place to land so they don't feel alone, right? You're also going to deliver valuable epiphanies that can be, what was that? Oh, implemented to give your audience, again, results or quick wins. Okay, here's why. Nobody wants to learn our 21-step thing to XYZ, right? If I said this was 21 steps, you'd be like, yeah, maybe not, right? Nobody wants to spend a lot of time and a lot of energy. As a matter of fact, our brain is wired to save time and save energy. Isn't that crazy? So we want to make sure that we're delivering value that people can implement so that they can have epiphanies and quick wins. Why? Because when they have a win, they start to trust you. When they do something that you ask them to, when they implement something that you're teaching them and they get a result from that, they start to build trust, right? And that trust is going to increase enrollments into your paid programs. So number 7 is increase enrollments into your paid programs. Okay? This is also going to help you turn your audience into believers that also want to stay with you for years. Okay, really important. We really want to stay with our people. I have people that stay with me. As a matter of fact, Margaret's here. I think we're going on 4 years now. Right? We want people to be in our world. Number 9 is you are going to walk away knowing what the needle movers are in your business so that you can focus on it daily. I'm going to tell you exactly what that is. So that you wake up in the morning and you're like, okay, these are the 3 things I'm going to focus on. These are the needle movers. These are the income generators. These are the things that is going to make my business grow. So guess what? You can let go of the 80% that you might be doing right now that's not moving the needle forward at all. And I'm going to share some examples of what you're probably doing that's in the 80% range. And we're going to bring it back to the 20% that actually creates the results in your business. Number 10, take action so that you can create a thriving and sustainable practice. Thriving and sustainable practice. Without action, nothing happens. We have to implement. We got to take action, right? You can listen to me all day long, but until you start implementing something, nothing's going to change, just like your clients too, right? You can't go through the drive-through, or you can't stop them from going through McDonald's, right? They have to actually not go through the drive-through themselves, right? Yeah. So I really want to invite you over the course of the strategy that I'm going to teach you next, over the next couple days. Please pick one simple thing that you implement. Okay? Can we all agree that you're going to implement here? That you're not just going to be, just listening and do nothing with it, because it's not going to help you if you don't implement. Yes. Okay, great. Lots of nods. Fantastic. And ask questions. If you guys want to ask questions, I'm here for you. Totally here for you, right? So if you're like, yes, but Chris, awesome. Bring me the yes buts. I'm here for it. Bring me the yes buts. I want to solve the yes buts. Okay? So I would love it if each one of you would just pop into the chat. What are you feeling right now? What are you feeling right now after going through just day 1, knowing that we are going to share the strategy on day 2, 3, and 4, and 5? I've got you. I'm here for you. I'm going to answer your questions. I will not let you walk away confused or struggling. Yep. And those of you who are watching the repeat here, please pop in the chat if you have any questions, because I'm here for it. Okay. So just know that there's no stupid questions. You are more than welcome to ask all the questions chances are I've heard them. I've been working with clients for many, many years. And I will also, my promise to you is I will be fully transparent. I will not share anything that I either don't personally do myself, and I will not share anything that is outdated or that I wouldn't do myself. So is that an agreement? We can have a little bit of trust here with each other, that I will answer your questions, and I promise that I will not share anything. I won't tell you to do something that I don't feel is in integrity or that doesn't work. Awesome. All right, question. Oh, Laura, thank you. Yes, you're not alone. Totally supported. Yes. As a matter of fact, inside of our programs, the reason why I created the programs the way that I did is so that people had wraparound support. It wasn't just like, watch this course and then you're on your own. Our clients not only have one-on-one calls with me, they get weekly live calls with me in our group. They get one-on-one calls every single month and I'll share more about that later, but marketing, tech, all of that, we've got you, like wraparound, totally. With each iteration of learning how to reach my clients, I gain more clarity. Great, Melissa. Each coach through Sarah, yes, absolutely. Through sharing similar information has their own unique way of presenting it. I feel more clarity and I'm excited to see what the next 4 days revealed. Absolutely. Yay, Trina, I'm so glad. Yay. Yeah, she's been in my group. And yes, when we're in groups, we learn from each other, right? So a question that you might have is something that someone else might hear or need. Questions. We're at the end of our time, but I'm going to stay here for any questions that you guys might have. I am going to ask you to take one action, but I want to open it up for questions. Trina.
I think a question I have as I'm starting to put the posts out, and I get a lot of people making comments on the regular Facebook page that you told me to put it on both. And I'm not really getting any likes or comments or anything on my Facebook group, and I'm just wondering if there's a reason for that.
So is there a reason why you get comments on your personal page and not your Facebook group? Is that the question?
Yes, that is the question.
Yeah. Anybody else have questions about what the heck is going on in Facebook? Like, I don't know. So here's the thing, you guys. Facebook, when we are only relying on algorithm, we're not actually taking people into consideration. So there's multiple reasons why people are going to interact with you. Okay. I want you to, for those of you that are familiar with the law of attraction, right? If I'm going to interact with you, you're actually going to interact with me, right? We energetically are gonna resonate with each other, right? So inside of Facebook, the algorithm follows that same thing. They show things to people who are looking at each other's pages or interacting or responding. Okay, so somebody who likes on, chances are, Trina, your personal page has a lot more friends than your group, right?
Yeah.
So it means that percentage wise, more people are actually seeing it on your personal page. In the group, there's a group algorithm too, believe it or not. And so not everybody in your group sees what it is that you post. So when we look at posts that we create in our group, right, we want to make sure that we're actually inviting somebody to comment. Are we actually asking them to comment? Are we actually asking them to pop a heart in the chat? Are we actually asking them their opinion? Are we actually asking them something so there's actually a reason? Or are we just sharing education and then there's no reason? They're like, oh yeah, that was kind of cool, right? So there's a lot of different things to kind of take a look at. And Trina, I'm going to dive more into this when we get into the attract part. Okay. But yeah. And look, here's the thing. I love Facebook. I've grown my business on Facebook. I still believe in Facebook. I have a Facebook group. All of you are probably in it, right? And look, even my post, they don't always get a ton of likes. That doesn't matter though. What matters is that I'm consistent. What matters is that I show up. What matters is that I deliver value. Okay? So I want to say all of this is we are not making posts for vanity metrics. Vanity metrics are how many people like the post. Honestly, it doesn't matter how many people liked your post. They might not all be your ideal client, right? I actually had something go viral one time and shared, and I'm like, what the heck is this? Who is actually commenting and liking it? They were all men in the Middle East. Vanity metrics, right? It doesn't matter. And as a matter of fact, you can actually build an incredible business with a very small community. If you look in my Facebook group, I only have 1,400 people. I hit six figures when I was at 500 people. I do not need 20,000 people, and neither do you. Okay? And I make multiple six figures year after year after year after year with a small audience. Why? Because it's based on relationships. So don't get hung up on the vanity metrics. Don't get hung up if people are responding or not responding or saying they like the post or don't like it. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay? Yeah. What matters is that you show up so that they can start trusting you. So Trina, you just keep going. Don't worry about it. Any other questions? That was a great question. Yeah. Cool. You're welcome. All right, here's the action that I want you guys to take. I would like it if you guys could all open, if you have smartphones, open your smartphones unless you're actually on it right now. And I want you to pop a reminder in there that says, whatever your dollar amount was for this month, if you said 5K, if you said 10K, if you said 15K, I want you to put a reminder in there that says, August is or this month is a 5K month. This month is a 10K month. This month is a whatever it is that you want to put in there. And here's the reason why. When I was building my business, before I hit six figures, I popped that into my phone. And every day the same message came up. I did it by month. January is a 10K month. Every single day I saw that message. February is a 10K month. Every single day I saw that message. Guess what started happening? Any guesses? 10K months. Yep. And then 20K months. And then 30K months. Yeah. It matters what you put on repeat. Okay? So if you are seeing that and saying, and you are claiming it as if it's already happening, now you're energetically resonant with what it is that you desire. You're not in lack. You're not in scarcity. You're not like, well, I hope this happens. Well, I hope I might get a new client. No, I am so darn excited to see who's on their way. Whoa! Yes. Doesn't that feel different? Right? If you told yourself every day, I am so darn excited to see who's on their way. I wonder who is going to pop up today. I wonder who I could serve today. Yeah, huge difference. Okay? So set that. And if you want, set it to go off 3 times a day if you really want a bonus. Because every time you see it, you're reminding yourself of who you are. You're reminding yourself of what's on its way. Okay, so that's your action step for today. All right, ladies, we're 3 minutes over. Thank you for bearing with me. Remember, just a reminder for those of you that popped on late, every time you show up live, you get an entry to have a VIP day with me. Okay, so every single day you show up live, we put a check mark on our spreadsheet and we put your name, you get an entry. So you show up for all 5 days, you get 5 entries. Okay, so show up live if you can. And we're going to make sure that once this is done, we're going to put the replay up in both places, right? It'll go in our Facebook group in the guide section. It will also go on the web page. Okay, so we're going to send out, be on the lookout tonight. We will send out an email to everybody who registered saying, here's the replay. So if you decide that you want to watch the replay, you can watch it. And if you decide that you can't, or if you can't make it to, a live one of the days, just know that we'll make sure that we get the replay out to you, okay? Awesome. Ladies, thank you for being here. I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow. We're going to dive into 2 things tomorrow. Definitely want you to come back. It's really important. We're going to design your high-end offer. And we're also going to talk about a signature system and how that can actually 10x your business when you have a signature system and what's involved in all of that. All right, ladies, have a great evening.